Anything in your pockets?
Got some tobacco.
In there?
Yeah, I've got a stick in the blue tray. Yeah, leave that in there.
Inhaler.
You can keep that.
Anything else on you at all? Nothing at all? Any jewellery of any sort on? No.
We'll just sign there for the cash you brought back with you.
Caroline.
£9.22.
Karine, yeah.
Karine.
You step through there, my colleague, give him down search.
Going down or are they going?
I don't call Chelmsford my home. I call my cell my home. Chelmsford is just Chelmsford Prison, you know what I mean? I just call my cell my home. I don't sleep on the landing, I don't sleep in the exercise yard, I sleep in my cell. I wash in my cell. I go do things in my cell. I call it my home, because I've got to be there for a long time. So while I'm here, it's my home, innit? When I'm on the outside, then I just put it all behind me. While I'm here, I want to make it as comfortable as I can, you know what I mean? So. It's not nice going into your cell and just having a bed and a telly and a toilet, you know what I mean, without pictures and things that you can look at, you know what I mean? Like, I've got pictures of my daughter all over my wall. And when I go in and I see my daughter and that on the wall, and it makes me feel like I'm at home. Because I know that I've got something, when I get out there, I know I've got something to go out to. So I'm going to call it my home until I'm released.
I personally dread to think of it as my home. You know, my home is happiness, really. Right here, I don't want to be reminded of home. It just go longer and longer, so I just class it as temporary lodgings. You know, I don't want to miss my home. Why the hell do I want something to remind me of home?
I don't really want to think of it as a home. And for that reason, I prefer not to bring too many elements of what my home would be like outside into prison at all. So I prefer to keep it. It is a transient place. It's somewhere that I'm passing through. I won't be living here for any great length of time. So I don't like to think of it as a home at all. And I don't like to. Strangely enough, I don't like photographs of family, friends, pets, whatever around. So it seems to be different for each individual.
It's not home. It's not a hotel. Just somewhere where I'm forced to stay.
Anything in your pockets at all?
No.
Stick that in there for me. Nothing else on you?
Nope.
No, any jewellery on apart from your glasses that you
Glasses on the what?
When I came into the prison, I was a complete stranger. Never been in prison before in my life, never been in trouble. Now, whenever I walk off the wing, it's Elvis has left the building, Elvis is in the building, and that's my sense of place. Now, I haven't ordered that. It's just come around from. It sticks to me, like, you know, and that's me. And yeah, that's what they do. That is my sense of place. And when I start singing or whatever, and Elvis is off again. But that's it. That's what I've developed in the 3 months I've been here.
One thing that I was noticing here is a sense of identity and a sense of place, and getting the two things. I mean, prison is a very levelling environment. Everybody tends to lose their individuality, but I don't think you have to lose your sense of identity. I don't mind wearing prison clothes, personally. This is a transient environment. I'm going to be passing through it. I'm not going to be in it forever. Therefore, I don't want to form any sense of attachment, or even really a sense of place, if that makes sense.
Sometimes when they get their new clothes sent in, they can smell the washing powder that's been used from home, you know what I mean, something familiar. I found that when I was getting my clothes washed and sent in. But at the end of the day, like I say, you've got to accept where you are. You've got to stop holding on to what was, you know what I mean. You've got to accept where you are and get on with your future and get on with what's happening now, you know what I mean.
Yeah, shut man. Right, you pick up your gear. Yeah, take that, that's yours. That's your visiting order in there as well, alright? You been in prison before? Right, so you know what the visiting order's for, yeah? Right, okay. Right, go round here. Oh, there you go, it's already sorted. If you go in box number 2, you get yourself changed.
Speaking about a sense of place, I actually work in reception, so I see the daily intake of new inmates. And one thing I notice is when they walk in the front door, everybody is different. all wearing different clothes. Some are wearing suits, some have got casual clothes on, and they're all different. Then they come down to the middle section where they're all processed, and they're all given their clothes, which is what I'm responsible for, and their food. Then they go and they get changed. When they walk out from behind those curtains, they're all the same. They're all wearing the same clothes. You don't get a sense of place until you're actually located, when you find your cell. And I think it's important that if you do get put into prison, you make the cell your home, and that's where the nucleus of it comes from. And that's where you find your own identity, I think, from your own cell.
Is the fact that it's so small and it's got bars on the window, does that make it less of a home otherwise than it would be? Or can you override that?
I don't think of it as because it's got bars on the window. I just look through the bars, didn't it? I don't actually look at the bars. I see past the bars. So I just see as if I'm looking out my bedroom window sort of thing.
I think I know where I am in relation to my environment, but I still find prison a very distorted environment. It's a very unnatural, very bizarre environment. A bit like being an animal in a zoo, I suppose, in one way, really. You know, no matter what you do to the inside, no matter what you do to the cage, it's still a cage.
Can you describe for me what it was like the first time you came into the prison?
I felt like I didn't belong here because I didn't know no one. And I felt out of place because of like everyone knows each other in jail after a while of being with each other. They can play games together, and when you first come in you think, oh, shall I go out and play with them and ask them to play pool or what? And you feel a bit out of place, like you just don't belong there. But then after a while, like, people start chatting to you and you get to know people and you get more relaxed on it. But it's scary really when you first come in.
Did you have any thoughts of what it would be like?
I had thoughts that I thought it would be worse than what it was, because I didn't think you'd be allowed out your cell to play games and things, and I thought people would all be nasty and try fighting you and things like that. But when I come in, I found that everyone's just like me. They just want to get on with their time and get out.
So if you didn't think you belonged then, how do you feel now?
Well, I've got used to the routines and people and the officers. I began to build a relationship with the officers here. I know people in here now from where I've been in a few times, and it's more relaxed. When my door opens, I go out, I can chat to people I know, I can speak to the officers about personal things like problems that I've got and that, so I get on better.
How about the first time that you were locked in a cell?
First time I was locked in a cell, it was weird. It didn't feel right, because I didn't know when the door was next going to open. It was weird to see there wasn't a door handle on the inside of the door and things like that. But then I got used to it, basically. Just got used to it.
So what's it like when the keys turned in the lock?
It's good to hear that someone's going to let you out. When you're in your cell and you're sitting there and you're bored, you're thinking about things, or when I'm next going to get out, because that's all you really think about, is when the cell door's next going to open, what am I going to do? Like, I'm going to go out and do my job. And that's how you get through the day, by thinking what's next.
Unlock ones!
The main thing you can hear is keys, like the sound of the keys. All you can hear is bang, 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 and the keys rattling. You don't hear that on the outside. Not unless someone's got a big, big bunch of keys. It's true though, isn't it? Yeah. That's all you can hear. You can just hear like bang, bang, and then a rattle of keys. And then you'll hear the doors opening or flaps opening and shutting. And it's quite noisy sometimes, especially when there's no one out on the landing, just an officer walking up and down checking. And you can hear boom, bang, boom, 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 and the keys rattling.
I think everything's very hollow, metallic in the wings. Unlike this room, which is carpeted, everything tends to be very bare, very metallic, very sharp. But I think in the large open wings, very small sounds can sort of reverberate along the wings. So particularly when it goes quiet in the evenings, the slightest noise really can sound quite loud.
Echoes.
Yeah, it does.
Echoes really loud. And that's when you hear the people who can't accept, or not so much accept, but handle where they are. When everything goes quiet at night, all the doors are shut and everybody's in their cells with their thoughts, that's when you start hearing people start banging their doors. Not the ones who are banging it because the football's on, but you hear the ones who are banging their doors because they want to get out. And people who are screaming because they're they're withdrawing from something, you know what I mean, and they just can't handle this situation. And that can haunt you sometimes, you know.
On one of my first, and I think about my second night in here, I was on D-Wing, and I heard the screams of one particular chap, and that's going to haunt me for a long time. The screams, man, they were bad. And you just bury your head in your pillow. Just bury your head in your pillow, say, go away. That's quite frightening, or it can be, if you allow it to frighten you.
Hey, Bob! Fuck you in French? Yeah. What, you had a woman chat? Yeah. Was she young? Nah, bro. Oh! What was you in the annex? Huh? Was you in the annex? Nah. I was Judge Kingside. I see your judge, you have blood there.
Night time on the block I'm in, you can hear on the wing I'm in. Sorry, you can hear what I call the window warriors. It's every night, constant conversation out the windows, some abuse as well, talking about what they've done during the day, what they're going to do tomorrow, and what they're going to do the week after.
Oh, you're fuming. Hey, Christy. You're fuming. Hey, Christy. Yeah. They treat us like cat ain't that, yeah? You're fuming. Hey, Christy. Well, you listening? You know why you got a big burn? Right. Do you want to tell you why you got that big sentence? Right. You see your codeine?
I find myself blowing things completely out of proportion, funny things, because you laugh and you laugh out loud. I mean, the funny thing is that we sit on our cell at night time and watch television, some of the programmes which are on, and they're funny, and you're laughing loud. And whether you're exaggerating those thoughts to bring the laughter out of you, but it's a big part of the day, humour. It's a big part of the day. Has to be.
I think humour as a coping mechanism is absolutely essential. On the side of black humour, one thing that actually comes to mind is a few years ago I actually saw a prisoner throw himself off one of the upper landings, and immediately the whole wing was stunned. A fellow had actually plummeted down through a barrier into the floor and injured himself very, very badly. And nobody really knew what to do, and the immediate thing, somebody very quick-wittedly went into the cell and came out with a little notice saying 4.1, rather like a ski jumper. That sort of, although that might sound quite callous, to cope with a situation like that, humour was absolutely essential. And I think that sort of thing, not necessarily as black as that, but that's a pretty good example of something which was quite funny, I think.
I must admit that actually caused a big fight, because when McGeezer came out of hospital, he thumped him because he thought it was worth his seats. And that's the type of humour you get in prisons.
You've got to learn to smile over near enough anything and laugh over a lot of things in here. Because like you say, you can be in your cell and you might see it. When you're outside, you hardly got time to watch telly anyway, and when you do watch it, you're just staring at the telly. Here, you actually watch the telly. You watch the adverts. You probably know all the adverts off by heart. And like, I'll be there sometimes and see an advert and I'll be laughing to myself loud. And they bang on the wall next door and say, "What are you laughing at?" I'll be, nothing, man. You know what I mean? But you just got to be able to do it sometimes just to get you through that night. Some nights you're up. Like last night, I was up until 3 o'clock in the morning.
When I said I work in reception, and I see the daily intake, and sometimes the YPs, the young prisoners, come in, and they're 19, 18, 19 years old, and some of them actually in bits, and they might have got a short sentence, a week or 2 weeks. And I'm sure I'll be forgiven for saying this, but I do, as they walk up to me, just say, you can identify them straight away. You can identify them straight away. And when they walk up to me, I'll just say, welcome to Pontins, because you have to set their mind at rest, and I get a lot of enjoyment and fulfilment from doing that. For me to make sense of my sentence, that's the way I handle it. And if they walk away with a smile, say, thanks a lot, Steve, or if I see them a week later and they're totally different, they say, yeah, you were right, Steve, thanks very much. And that's my day, basically. That makes my day. And it happens many, many times. And it's not just YPs, it can be adults as well, because adults come in frightened. Never been to prison before, but I was that adult 3 months ago.
We're in an exercise yard where a lot of inmates have to come out early in the morning, like 8:30, and we just walk around, smoke, and just talk to each other, and then we'll go back up.
There's quite a lot of banter going on and joking and things. How does that work?
Yeah, that's about a good thing in here. Just a lot of people making fun of each other.
Tell me about that. What kind of things have gone on?
Fights, drug taking, yeah, a lot of things. But the officers obviously don't know. They don't know nothing about it. They just think we're dumb criminals.
Get 3 meals a day in here for nothing.
Food slops.
Yeah, mate.
It's like porridge.
They make you get up at 7:30 in the morning to fill in a meal slip. If you don't, you get a meal, and the pigs eat better than that.
There's no girls here. Like at home, you got loads of girls, but in jail, there's no girls. That's the only difference. Other than that, it's easy, isn't it?
It's the only difference.
That's the only difference.
And you don't get to hold your own money.
Oh yeah, no girls, no drinks, and that's it. No clubs.
So how does being here then compare to being at home?
You got everything you want, ain't you, at home? Get banged. My dad don't bang the door behind me and say she's not coming out your room. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, they do.
So tell me about the first time that you came in then. What was that like?
It weren't like I thought. You hear stories on road and that about how you get raped and all that, and it weren't like that when I come in. It's just quieter actually. It's the first time you just miss your family and all that, and you get used to it after that.
Chicken steaks, please. Chips or what? Frankfurters, please. Chips or what? I don't know. Pass him up, let some weight. Ham and egg, please. Chips or what?
The food all smells the same. Like the chips smell like spaghetti, and the spaghetti smells like sausages, and you know what I mean. I've had rice that smells like fish and tastes like fish before, so it's just all crazy when it comes down to smells in here. Everything's all mixed up and unfamiliar. Clothes, they haven't got no scent. You know what I mean. A bit of washing powder wouldn't go amiss.
I don't know, sometimes with the toilet in your cell, because you've got the toilet right next to your bed and everything, sometimes it can smell, it can start really smelling and everything, and we're not allowed to have cleaning products in our cell, like cream cleaner or toilet cleaner or anything like that. We have to get them at association, and sometimes the toilet does start stinking.
As far as sanitary side of things goes, I suppose sometimes the toilets do smell, but it's just a matter of keeping it clean and covering it with the towel. But I think the whole place has got a smell about it. I had a visit yesterday from my parents, and they said, "What is that smell?" And me personally, I couldn't smell anything. That's because I'm constantly in this environment. When I leave prison very shortly, then all the clothes which I've been in storage will be destroyed. I won't wear them again. When I leave here, I wanted actually to go and have a sauna and a swimming bath, just to clean the place off me. I think each area's got its own individual, should we say, aroma, for want of a better word. Reception wings, the toilet areas. But when I leave here, I'll leave the smell behind for permanently.
I mean, as soon as I walked onto like the D wing, it just smells dirty. It smells dirty, and you don't even have to move to get dirty on D wing. You know what I mean? Whereas the wings that we're on now, they're newer. They're cleaner, the toilets are not right next to your bed, you know what I mean? They're sort of like at the foot of the room. So, and they're easier to clean, like with the toilets on D-Wing, they're stainless steel and they've been there for years, so whatever goes in there stays in there, you know what I mean? Even though you're in the same room as the toilet, I sit as far away from the toilet as possible. But at the end of the day, if you want to look at it that way, you're sleeping in the toilet as well, you know what I mean? You're doing everything in a toilet.
I've been banged up with some people that don't shower, like, I don't like showering and everything. So you have to tell them, like, I don't like telling people, like, saying, I don't like saying, oh, you go and shower, like, you stink and all this. But sometimes you really have to do it. or when they want to go to the toilet and everything, like, they go to the toilet and it starts stinking up the room and everything. And you're right there. And you're there, and then you got to eat straight after. You got to eat in that room and everything as well. Like, I prefer single cells myself.
Unhygienic, you might leave that potatoes in a minute, get one. Frankfurters, please. Oh, that's nice. What is it?
It's where you make your own personal standards, and as Jamesy said, if you've got somebody else in with you, then you tell them, you say, look, Nitto, you don't do it. Once that door's shut, that's it. You don't sit on there, you just stand there. And anything else you do during the day. I mean, when I first came in here, I didn't go for 4 days. I couldn't, because I was banged up with somebody else. I couldn't go for 4 days. And then I found out that there was one downstairs. I was made up like I was dashing down there, I just couldn't wait to get. But you don't do it in a cell with somebody else.
The thing I find with visits is I get on a visit, I talk for about half an hour, and that's it. I forget. I ain't got nothing else to say. Because I ain't done nothing.
Everything's the same, isn't it?
You can say everything in 10 minutes, and they say, that could be exactly the same as what you told them last week anyway. Then they say their stuff, what they've done, what's happening, and all everything like this. And then you run out of things to say. So you're sitting there, you're like, yeah, that's it. You're writing letters back and forward to everyone like each day and everything. So
what you do in a month can be said on like one side of an A4 page, and the other side.
So when your family and friends are telling you what they've done, how does that make you feel listening to that, knowing that you're not part of it?
I feel a bit down, really, innit? Because I would love to be out there now. I'd love to put all this behind me. I'd love my sentence to be over tomorrow. But there's nothing I can do about that. And I ain't going to let it get to me either.
The visits I have from my daughter and one of my best mates in the whole world have revolved around one thing, me, nothing else. And the very first visit, I just did not stop talking about me, what I'd been doing, what I was doing, just me, continuously, me. And it got to the stage where it was a personal joke between me and my daughter, and I said to her, I'm actually thinking of writing a letter to me to tell me about me. Couldn't understand what I'm saying. It was always me, and I had to write to her and apologise. Say, look, I didn't realise until I looked back on the visit, and all I talked about was me. But what can you tell me about what you did? She went to work, she came home, she went out. They're not the sort of things that you want to hear. And you're just offloading all this emotion onto them, like, you know, and it. Some are a bit harsh, but visits are great, like, you know, I love them.
How long do you get? 2 hours, isn't it? 2 hours on a visit and 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and you've said nearly everything. And then you're like, oh yeah, what are you going to do tonight? And then 2 minutes later, it's the same question again. What are you going to do tonight? Do you know what I mean? It is, though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You just keep saying the same thing. You might not say, you say one thing now, and then 2 minutes later, you'll say that question again. Then you'll say another question, and then a couple of minutes after that, you just keep saying the same thing over and over again, and it gets frustrating, you know what I mean? And then, well, I'll get my girlfriend, when she writes to me, I'll get her to write something like a load of crap, really, but then when I write to her, then I'll question what she written in her letter, so it gives me a little bit more to say, because I can't really say, oh, I got up this morning, got water, got banged up, had my breakfast, got banged up, went to work, got banged up, had my dinner, got banged up, you know what I mean? Went back to work again, got banged up. It's the same thing every day, so there's nothing really exciting to say.
I think before I came in here, I know before I came in here I went through 2 years of severe depression due to a marriage breakup, and I know that my parents and my eldest daughter, and probably my second eldest daughter as well, was worried that I was going to sink back into the depression, and I was determined I wasn't going to, because I'd found the way before I came in here, and I'd got myself right, and I was determined whatever sentence I got, if I got one, then I was going to be right, that my head was going to be focused when I came in. And every time they see me, and I know they're proud of me because I haven't sank back into that. And I mean, since I come in, I put on 3 stone in weight. And when they walk in, I just know by their faces that, you know, they're really proud of me. And that gives you a good feel-good factor, like, you know.
Yes? Talk to me when you're out running there, please. What's wrong with it?
My major problem with being in here is not being able to do what I want to do, and constantly be forced to ask for the, you know, even the smallest of things, and even then, you know, mostly you get no as an answer. And that's one of the hardest things to cope with, except from being a part of your family, of course. Everybody deals with it in his own way, but my way of dealing with it is find something to do, a book to read, or some work to do, whatever, exercise, everything that puts your mind on something else. You try, you know, to do things with others that are pleasurable, that are nice to do, that, you know, to make fun together, play games, whatever. There is always this thing in the back of your mind, you know, it's kind of a forced thing, you know, like, well, we have to make fun, so we'll make fun. We have to play a game, so we'll play a game. We have to enjoy ourselves, so we will enjoy ourselves. more or less what you try to do. To say there is like a community sense, that's I think too much to say, because when you're out of here, you try to forget about it as soon as possible, and forget about everyone else that isn't here and wasn't here.
Okay guys, you're getting your water, let's get away! I can do shouting. Can you? Go on, here you go.
I know that how I thought at one stage is that when I got out, I didn't have nothing to talk to anybody about apart from prison. You know what I mean? And it was really hard for me to actually fit back in with the family and friends and everything. But I know that's not going to happen to me this time, because this time I'm doing more positive things. You know what I mean? Things to prepare me for when I get out. Whereas before, the way the system was before, there was no preparation. It was just chuck you back out there with a little bit of money on the gate. But a lot of people end up straight back because they can't handle not being in the system where they're being told what to do, when to get up and whatever.
If I ever think of myself when I'm out on the outside and I think I want to go and get in trouble, then I'll just close my eyes and just think of this place, and the thought of trouble will just disappear. Do you know what I mean? I'll just go out there, get a job and live my life normal. But the only thoughts that are coming with me from this place is the badness and the horribleness. Do you know what I mean? There's no life in here, no life at all. It's just day-to-day things. You do your day-to-day things and it's bang up. I've been so many places out there for help and that, and I ain't got it. And the only place that I've got help is when I'm in here. So it's clean to me. And if I knew that my girlfriend was pregnant, I wouldn't have done all this trouble. I wouldn't have got into the trouble that I was in to get this sentence, you know what I mean? But when I get out, I'll be clean. I'll have qualifications. Hopefully then I can just go out and be a good dad.
When I leave Chelmsford Prison, I'll be leaving it behind, but part of it will be going with me. It won't be the mattress, but I'll take part of it with me, definitely. I'll never forget my stay here.